Welcome back to Shib Planet, everyone. This is Ace. Today I want to do a technical analysis on the trajectory of Shiba Inu for 2021, particularly as it relates to the broader crypto market. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. My videos are for information and entertainment purposes only. Having said that, your time is precious, guys, so I highly recommend that you watch today's video at least 1.5 or more speed so that you can consume my content faster. Okay, today I'm going to replicate the market conditions which led to Shiba Inu's initial rise in May of this year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to project those conditions into the future using well-accepted pricing models. I'm going to be using a combination of publicly available data and, of course, my usual cryptocurrency simulator. Okay. When most people do token analysis, they go straight for the token and they begin to analyze patterns from the day or the week or the month, and they compare it to known indicators. This is great for trading and for day trading and for monitoring the impact of current events on the price. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a macro analysis on the overall cryptosphere, and I'm going to draw correlations in order to forecast where Shiba Inu ecosystem tokens could be headed. Now, macro analysis is good when analyzing market behavior. This is what professional investors use as a way to see the trajectory of the overall market when they plan their investments. So let's get right to it. This is the total global cryptocurrency by market cap, according to coinmarketcap.com. At the moment, the global cryptocurrency market cap has grown to over 1.9 trillion, and this has grown by over 250 billion in the past month of August alone. Personally, I like to label market cap as the overall measure of confidence in which investors have put in any asset measured in dollar value. Okay, now notice this. If I filter by the 1 year chart or year to date, this point where we're at now, this is the highest we've been since the May's all-time high of 2.5 trillion globally. Now, why is this important? Now, this is a strong macro bullish indicator, and that's important for all cryptocurrencies because it's potentially could signal another alt season. Now, what is an alt season? I'll just recap from last time. What is an Altseason? An altcoin season, Altseason for short, is a time in the crypto market where alternative coins tend to outperform the leading cryptocurrency Bitcoin. So any period in the market where most altcoins yield more profit than Bitcoin is referred to as Altseason. There's another definition which is suitable. It says here, alt season is the part of every overarching cryptocurrency market cycle where many altcoins moon, which means to quickly go up in price, against the dollar and Bitcoin at once. For example, in late December 2017 and early January 2018. When alt season occurs, altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin and the dollar. Okay, let's head back to our macro view. Now, basically, alt seasons, they're not just triggered when the market goes up, but they're triggered when the market approaches milestones such as previous or new all-time highs. It's important that it's those category of milestones. Now, during these phases of all-time highs, attention goes to crypto in general, and people, they tend to see where the market is headed. Then they try to invest in undervalued tokens in the hope of emulating Bitcoin's success one day. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I like to use this illustration, and basically as Bitcoin approaches its all-time high, this has a strong influence on other cryptocurrencies, which are usually in its natural orbit. I'll just quickly head back to the macro view. Now, in my view, for the next alt season to occur, we need to cross this. For us right now, we need to cross this $2 trillion market cap position. Currently, we're at 1.8, 1.9, and once we cross this 2 trillion, it'll be what we can likely expect is similar to what happened in April, where we crossed the 2 trillion, which is a current resistance point, and then it's likely it could drop back down again before pushing back higher. Ultimately, once we cross 2.5 trillion global market cap, spearheaded, of course, by Bitcoin, if we get much higher than that, that could actually replicate what happened here in April. And a lot of market analysts are predicting that that's a strong signal for the next bull run, especially because Bitcoin would have reached its all-time highs. Now let's quickly look at the all-time scale, and I'll wait for it to refresh. If you can see, this is the global market cap of all time so far. And you can see, just as at that definition, towards the end of 2017 and beginning of 2018, that's when the first major um, all-time high of Bitcoin reached, and this was when the first alt season happened, and biggest gainers were particularly Ethereum. So after that, then they became a consolidation, and for quite a long time, there was not a lot of focus on cryptocurrencies, and they remained relatively flat. With the exception of possibly Ethereum and Bitcoin. And during this period in time, any blockchain project which invested heavily in its future technology, it benefited greatly when the next alt season came. So today I'm going to tell you some of in fact, the main cause of an alt season, the fundamental cause of an alt season. But before we get to that, let's head back to our face over here. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that these are my Shiba Inu ecosystem calculators, and I use them to calculate the price of tokens fairly accurately according to any given market cap. And I use it to monitor my portfolio, and I also use it as an educational tool. And you know that I've built features which can simulate the price of a token, and we are able to even burn and stake our tokens and see its effects on the price. Another feature which we tend to have is we're able to mint for particularly in Bone token, and we also to see that impact on the price. So you guys are familiar with that, but what I've never shown you is my mainstream crypto calculators, and I've never shown you what they can do. This here is my Bitcoin calculator, which is part of my mainstream portfolio. But today I'm going to be focusing mostly on the Bitcoin calculator and its capabilities. Basically, I can predict the price of Bitcoin relative to the circulating supply and the market cap at any given moment. Its biggest difference is each particular month, I'm able to predetermine what the circulating supply will be in any forward month, and that helps us to have a future accurate price. So it's similar to like a visual version of the stock to flow model. Anyway, long story short, last month I ran a simulation on the price of Bitcoin, and as the basis of my calculation was the stock to flow model. Now, if you're familiar with this model, it's basically a chart which has been able to accurately predict the price of Bitcoin based on its predictable supply, which is mined every year. It takes into consideration all the halving cycles and the rates of mining. Suffice to say, it has been very accurate in determining the price of Bitcoin so far. Basically, the blue line which you see, that's what the price should be according to supply in this model. And that rainbow line there, it's what the actual price was. Basically, according to this model, Bitcoin's price should be over close to 100K by December. Let me just quickly flow there. December of this year, it should be even over 100K. So let's see if we can take this analysis a little deeper and draw correlations to what this means to alt seasons. So this is the Bitcoin halving chart. Now, if you know anything about the tokenomics of Bitcoin, Bitcoin gets mined at a certain rate, and then that rate gets halved every 4 years. And after each 4-year cycle, the scarcity of Bitcoin gets higher, and this results in its increased price. Bitcoin always reaches an all-time high after each halving, And when this happens, an alt season happens. And after that happens, the price always falls back in line with the stock to flow model. If I was to overlay this chart and this chart, you'll find that every time there's an all-time high, it always comes back in line with with the with the stock to flow model. Personally, I don't think it's a coincidence that that Ryoshi launched Shiba Inu just after a halving cycle of Bitcoin, knowing that within a year an alt season was likely to happen, and that is a great kickstarter for a crypto project. Anyway, let's head back to the stock to flow model. Now, right now, uh, Bitcoin, around here, around April, May, it reached its all-time high, but since then it dropped below the stock to flow line. And according to this model, sooner or later, like a moth to a flame, the price of Bitcoin is likely to come up to fall in line with the stock to flow model again. And as I stated before, that price is predicted to be 100K towards the end of the year. So let's take this to our Bitcoin calculator. Now, on my calculator, I calculated that that Bitcoin, it needs to grow at an average volume or of 208 billion in order to reach 100K by December. Let's quickly run that simulation pretty much from this month. First, let's configure our calculator. I'm going to go to CoinMarketCap, find Bitcoin. That's the current price. It's doing very well at the moment. I'm just going to configure the current price. Actually, what I need to do is to make sure that the circulating supply is the same. We have 782,881. Okay, it looks like I'll need to adjust that. Just bear with me a second, guys, so that we can be accurate, because they alter the 782. It actually is 782,881. It's just that I had, it's 782,881. So I'm just going to calculate the proper market cap at the moment. So anyway, now we are all in line with the market. Now let's add our average volume of 280 billion every month starting in September. So I'm going to add 280, and then I'm going to adjust the circulating supply, which will be in December. Now, this shows that Bitcoin would have to be over at about 60K by the end of September on a straight line average. This, in my opinion, it would ignite the markets, and new crypto investors who want to invest in crypto will probably look at the top 10 cryptos, and they'll find Dogecoin, for example, to be a seeming bargain. And I'm talking about new investors, not current investors. After all, Elon Musk owns some, so then it has to be worth something, right? That's likely what they'll think. So I'm just going to head here, and I'm going to go to my Dogecoin calculator. Now, let's switch to the Dogecoin calculator. I'll say that even without Elon's help, Doge can reach close to 50 cents just on market FOMO alone. So let's double Doge's market cap so that it gets close to that. I'm going to double it so that in September it goes up. I'll adjust for its circulating supply in December. Remember, this is entirely possible because Doge actually maxed at 90 billion when Bitcoin was close to its all-time high, and according to this simulation, this would be actually quite possible. So this is certainly possible. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't ignore Doge. It's still a top 10 crypto, which has ignited the flame of a whole new class of meme cryptos, which have a lot of zeros, which are attractive to newbies in crypto. Now, let's quickly jump back to Shiba Inu. Now, at this stage, all the attention which is on Doge will inevitably bring attention to Shiba Inu, aka the Dogecoin killer. At least that's what the media calls us, right? But by this time, we're no longer a meme coin. Far from it, actually. We're now listed on a myriad of exchanges and probably Coinbase by this time, and which means that many people can quickly purchase SHIB compared to earlier in May. Now, guys, what I'm just doing is I'm just replicating what already happened during the recent bull run earlier this May, but this time I'm using updated information. Now, when people take time to consider exactly what these millions of tokens they have just FOMO purchased are, they'll inevitably look things up. But this time, the media just doesn't have articles about a meme coin with no intrinsic value. Basically, they'll find, as I've said before in my previous videos, they'll find that SHIB token is the main part of an ecosystem of tokens. That is, it has its own decentralized exchange, ShibaSwap, where people recently made fortunes during, like using decentralized finance. You'll find a community of cult-like followers who've been somewhat impatiently waiting for this season, even though it's only been 4 months since its last peak. They'll find that plans are underway to establish its very own Layer 2 blockchain, Shibarium, possibly this very year. This has the potential to be faster and cheaper than the current Ethereum mainnet, and according to Ryoshi's Medium, it'll still benefit when Ethereum 2.0 eventually goes live. People will find out that there's a whole other income stream other than just holding tokens. In addition to that, they'll find a set of highly esteemed 10,000 NFTs. A quick note about NFTs. They are notoriously illiquid and difficult to sell. This is because they need relevance and demand in order to sell. But SHIB will almost never have this problem because of the size of our community and also the cult-like following. But I'll have to do a whole separate video on NFTs soon. I'll quickly head back to the SHIB cow. Now, if that's the case, then SHIB should have no problem reaching close to its all-time high or higher. So, for argument's sake, let's just take it to at least 10 billion by September, assuming Bitcoin gets to 60K, as we had said. Now, let's head back to Bitcoin because I'm trying to do these things simultaneously. So let's move again. 280 billion for October. I'm going to adjust that for October. Now, I'm simulating a price of over 70K for Bitcoin at this stage in October. Now, at this stage, all the finance industries attention would be on cryptocurrency in general. They'll know that unless you have big balances or you got in early, it'll be very difficult to milk Bitcoin for all it's worth. They'll turn their attention to other top 10 and emerging cryptos, and they'll see the tremendous projects, the tremendous potential of projects such as Ethereum and Cardano and others. But we're not talking about them today, are we? So I'm just going to head back to Doge. By then, Elon Musk will not be able to help himself by having a go at mega pumping Doge again for $1. So let's double the market cap again and let's see where that takes us. So in October, if we double the market cap, influenced by Bitcoin's all-time high, but if that happens, it's still within precedence that Dogecoin could beat its all-time high, which was 90K, but now it's at 105 and about 20 cents shy of hold on, let me just quickly adjust the supply. 20 cents shy of $1. Okay, I'll leave it here for now because at this stage there should be enough attention on SHIB for us to fly on our own. So thanks for the ride, Doge. Let's head back to SHIB. Now, with Bitcoin at an all-time October high of 74K, according to that average, SHIB should be able to reach at least double of its own all-time high of which was 14 billion, and so we should take us to at least 30 billion. So I'll try to be super conservative just to save time, and I'm just going to stretch this until December. So let's just see what happens if I stretch this until December. That takes us to double our all-time high by December. And I'm just being super conservative with that. And by then, my $1,000 investment will be close to 30K, which is not bad at all. But since this is just a simulation, let's just double that market cap in January, because after all, what happens if Shibarium gets successfully launched? So I'm just gonna, for fun, add 30 billion. Anything after this will probably have to be sheer market forces and reactions which I can't predict. I still think I'm being very conservative because I believe the Shiba Inu ecosystem has more intrinsic value than the Dogecoin, but I'm still placing it lower at this stage, um, just out of being conservative. So let's just finish up Bitcoin simulation. Let's take it straight to December, and I'll adjust for December's circulating supply. So I'm going to take it December 105. Cool. And takes us to over 100K just as per the stock to flow model. So I just wanted to run that quick simulation simultaneously to see what's possible to happen as Bitcoin breaks its all-time high and its influence, particularly on Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. And that's about it for this simulation. I actually ran a similar simulation, um, particularly on Dogecoin in this video here, where I said exactly how my Shiba Inu portfolio can become 135K. So this is probably a good follow-up to this current video, which we're watching at the moment. No, I know I got carried away a bit, but I guess the bulls have that effect on me at the moment. But the main take is that in the event of another alt season bull run, Shiba Inu is poised to do exponentially better based on its additional utility and accessibility, and also the fact that altcoins tend to perform better in their second run compared to their first. My analysis is typically intended for Shiba Inu, but I think it can be quite relevant for other cryptocurrencies which are anticipating the next alt season. So feel free to share this video on your social channels. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.